I am very grateful to be here. It is really remarkable, and I know it might not really sink into many in the room, but as the years to come, you will understand the significance of tonight. The vision of our leaders to have Sustainment Week and then bring us all in here today is something special, right? It is important that we understand how to be together at all times. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. In 1917, the War Department showed up here and they purchased the land that would soon become Camp Lee and then Fort Lee. The question is, in 1917, were we ready to go to the war, the Great War? I would suggest to you not. And if you read history and you look at how we brought ourselves together, we didn't do a very good job. But eventually, here, Camp Lee and Fort Lee, the local communities and the great soldiers that have come behind us and will come in front of us have turned this into an institution of remarkable training and learning. You're all a part of that now. That's why we're here today, right? We are the sustainment community of the United States Army. And if you're a part of the sustainment community, you come through Fort Lee. It's a fact. You don't go anywhere else. You are what make us great. But what is the purpose of the sustainment community? The purpose of the sustainment community is always, always to serve the warfighter. It's never about us. It's never about the Transportation Corps or the Ordnance Corps or the Quartermaster Corps. It's about the sustainment community supporting the warfighter. Because when we go to the combat zone, we don't look at branches. We figure out how to put capability together, to synergize it to the output, to get past the parochialism of our branches. Because when we're on the battlefield, it's about soldiers' lives. It's about taking care of the soldiers that work for us and supporting the soldiers who are doing the fighting. When we thought we had to fight the Cold War against the Russians, and we determined that we needed something other than functional battalions. We determined that we needed to be multifunctional. And then later, when the Chief of Staff of the Army determined that in order to go to Iraq, Afghanistan, and eventually Syria, to fight that enemy, we need to be more modular. Now, we still need technical expertise in all of our branches. We need our warrant officers, and we need our NCOs who are technically proficient. We need functional capability in certain places. But most of us, and I'm talking in particular the young captains and lieutenants who are out fighting forward, who are being held accountable for multifunctional capability, it's time for us to change how we do business. It's time for us to think bigger than ourselves and bigger than our organizations, to eliminate the parochialism and come together from beginning to end, not only in combat, but in training and as a family. That's what tonight is about. That's what this week has been about. Have you observed the many people walking around and talking to old friends? Have you observed that there is no distinction between branches when we're talking to each other? It's about what we do together for the warfighter, not what we do as a branch. I ask us to think through this. Change is a part of life. It's a fact of life. We have to be willing to let go of the status quo so that we can grow. And here's what I'm excited about tonight, this week. The things that I read about you every day. You're a remarkable force. The warfighter can't do it without you. But we must learn to do it together. Here's what I'm going to tell you. We've been working hard for 15 years. Buckle up. Okay? Buckle up. And we will not be able to do what the future requirements are unless we think bigger than ourselves. This is incredibly important. It takes all of us to do what we have to do. We have to get beyond the parochialism of our branches. And I am confident in our leadership, the leadership that's in the room today, the youth, the 10 second lieutenants back there. You will get us where we need to be. And it's a real honor to be here. And I want to say thank you for that.